Watch the water. The storm is coming, and right now it's breaking over the House of York in ways that nobody saw coming. Not even those of us who've been watching the waves build for years. Just in the last few days, reports have started pouring in from all sides. Prince Andrew, or rather Andrew Mountbatten Windsor as he's now being called, stripped of his titles and everything that came with them, is under investigation by the Metropolitan Police here in London. This is massive. And it's not just him. His ex-wife, Sarah Ferguson, is right there in the crosshairs with him, facing questions that could lead to criminal charges, potential jail time, or even whispers of being forced out of the country entirely. This isn't some distant rumour from across the pond. This is happening on British soil with our police, our laws, and our eyes wide open. So let me walk you through what we know so far, because when the water rises this fast, you need to see the currents before they pull you under. It all seems to have kicked off in mid-October, around the time the palace was quietly evicting Andrew from Royal Lodge and Charles was signing off on stripping his brother's titles. The Metropolitan Police, that's Scotland Yard, the ones who handle the big cases, confirmed they're actively looking into reports of misconduct, corruption in public office, and even sexual assault allegations tied back to Epstein. I would not be surprised that they would be focusing on the sexual assault allegations, because there are many people in the UK that know someone whose brother or sister or cousin was at a club and saw certain things. There are people that know what Andrew was like, and word gets around. The same with Prince Harry. Anybody else would have been charged for the things that he did. So it's happening for Andrew. About time. Sources close to the investigation, speaking to outlets like the New York Post and Sky News Australia, say that Andrew could be facing charges for things like financial wrongdoing, using his position for personal gain, and worse, enlisting officers to dig up dirt on his accuser, Virginia Giuffre. That poor girl. The woman whose memoir dropped last month. The one who mentioned royals, plural. She said royals with an S. That's massive. On Epstein's Island. Well, now the police are probing whether Andrew tried to intimidate her or misuse police resources to silence her back in the day. And Fergie, she's in the frame for alleged misuse of charity funds, those high-profile causes she champions, like cancer research and children's hospitals, questions about where the money really went and whether it lined pockets instead of helping people. But here's the part that is really concerning, the bit that makes you sit up and wonder if this is all connected. Just 3 days ago, on November the 6th, House Democrats on the Oversight Committee in America sent Andrew a letter which was polite on the surface, but sharp as a knife underneath. No, Your Royal Highness this time, just his civilian name, and a simple ask, come testify about Epstein. The flights, the girls, the silence you've kept for decades. No subpoena yet, but it's coming if he drags his feet. And across the Atlantic, the UK is moving just as fast. The Met ramping up their probe, campaign groups like Republic talking about private prosecutions for sexual assault and corruption, and a lot of us know about those things. Why now? Why all at once? It's like the dams burst and the water's flooding in from every direction. Think about it. Andrew's always had a safety net, that invisible royal bubble the one that kept the worst at bay. Under the Queen, he was untouchable, the favourite son who could stumble and still land on his feet. Even with Charles on the throne, as long as he had his titles, his home on Windsor grounds, that HRH prefix, he was cocooned. You couldn't touch a prince on royal property. Arrests don't happen in palaces. Not like that. It was his shield, his golden parachute, the thing that let him weather the Epstein storm without real consequences. But Charles changed all that. On October the 30th, he signed the papers. Titles gone, stipend cut, Royal Lodge emptied out. Andrew's not even allowed on Windsor grounds anymore, not without permission. It's like his brother reached in and yanked the parachute cord himself. Why? Because without the titles, Andrew's just a man, a vulnerable man, and vulnerable men get questioned. Vulnerable men get charged. Vulnerable men go to jail. You can almost see the palace calculating it out. Strip him now before the American letter lands, before the Met knocks on the door. Cut the safety net, and suddenly the world's problems become someone else's. The US's testimony and Britain's cells. No more royal immunity to hide behind. No more he's one of us to slow things down. And look at the timing. Charles moves in October, America follows in November, and then the Met heats up right in the middle. It's coordinated, isn't it? Like the family's closing ranks, pushing the problem out the door before it stains the throne. Andrew's daughters, Beatrice and Eugenie, they've been keeping a low profile, jetting off to quieter spots, staying out of the headlines. The House of York is collapsing, as the posts on X are saying, and this time there's no net to catch them. Speaking of what people are saying online, it's a storm in itself. On X, the hashtags are exploding. Hashtag Prince Andrew investigated. Hashtag House of York down. Hashtag Fergie probe. One user put it bluntly, Andrew's toast. Title's gone, now jail, ? The palace has finally cut the cord. If you look back through my channel, you see other videos where I basically predicted that it would come to this. Another one says, Fergie's charity cash, where did it go? Epstein money laundering vibes. And the big one that is trending, no royal safety net this time. Charles threw him to the wolves. Posts linking back to the New York Post article from yesterday, Andrew and Fergie probed, could face criminal charges. He's toast. Sky News Australia chiming in, Mountbatten Windsor may face jail over misconduct. Even the Daily Telegraph's running headlines about palace sex workers bombshell and claims Andrew could be charged with public offences. It's not just chatter, it's fury. People who followed this for years, the ones who've watched the Newsnight interview and shook their heads, now saying, finally, but why did it take so long? And let's not forget the Epstein shadow hanging over it all. Those flight logs, the ones Virginia Giuffre referenced in her book. Andrew's name 3 times in '99 alone. The island visits, the settlements he paid out. Now the Met is digging into whether he abused his position to cover it up, maybe even pulling strings with officers to harass accusers. Fergie's tied in too, her charities overlapping with Epstein's circle. Questions about donations that smelled off. It's misconduct in public office at its ugliest, using power not for good, but to bury the bad. And jail, authors and insiders are whispering it could happen. I've been saying this for a long time. One told News Nation Andrew's going to be charged with various public offences. he'll probably go to jail. Marcus saying the royal reckoning may lead to exile. Even Republic, that anti-monarchy group, is gearing up for a private prosecution if the police drag their feet. It's coming from all sides. This isn't slaps on the wrist anymore. This is the end of the line. So where does Andrew go from here? That American letter, testify voluntary or watch the subpoena drop, the UK's probe, cooperate or face charges at home, with no titles, no palace walls, no queen to bail him out. He's exposed, floating, parachute-less, in water that's rising faster than he can swim. Will he flip? Will he name names to cut a deal? The Saudis from the logs, the Monaco flights, or closer to home? Because if Charles cut the net, maybe Andrew's got nothing left to lose. And if you join my Vault membership, I'm doing a much deeper dive to give you more on that. The daughters have run for cover. Fergie's fighting her own corner. And the House of York, it's not collapsing, it's already in pieces. But here's the deeper current, the one that really won't go away. This isn't just about Andrew anymore. It's about what happens when the safety net has gone for good. The monarchy has always thrived on that bubble, untouchable, unbreakable. Strip one prince and the others start looking nervous. William's out there, steady as ever, but even he knows, one wrong wave and the water pulls you in. Charles signed the order, but did he sleep easy after that? Because once you cut the cord on your brother, the storm doesn't stop at York. It heads straight for the throne. Watch the water, because right now it's not lapping at Andrew's feet. It's over his head. And the rest of them, they're next in line. The investigation's just starting. The charges could land any day. And when they do, remember, the safety net wasn't cut by accident. It was deliberate. It was necessary. And it was the end of something that many thought would last forever. Let that sit with you. Because this isn't the fall of a prince. It's the flood of a family. And the water, it doesn't stop rising.